Hey everyone, welcome to one more episode of Web3 and Chill podcast. And today we have the team of Circus with us. So, yeah, let's get started.
Perfect.
So, I have Mikey and Falco with us from the team Circus. And why don't you guys go ahead and tell us what you are doing, why Web3, and what you are building?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, that's always people are asking, why are you in Web3 actually? And most of the people are asking me like, what is Web3 actually? Because we come from a background of the Web2 industries and we are gradually moving into Web3. So what's Web3 exactly? And we actually have a great journey, right, Mike? I mean, how we have been sailing from web to basically where we started and uh, explored the world there, and then we went to the world of blockchain and Web3 now, but NFT, which is part of course, and then we went in landing in Web3. So yeah, a great journey it is. Basically, how we've met each other, I think 6 years ago. And that was the time that we are actually having a great product to develop was ICO Picker. Because the time the cryptocurrency was hot, a lot of ICOs were booming. And that was the moment that we were meeting each other. And from there, where did we meet? Hong Kong, I guess, right?
Yeah, in
It
Hong
was
Kong.
Hong Kong. 2017 it was.
Yep.
Yeah, 2017. So that was a great time because from that moment we actually started working together and we had all kind of plans, and and I think starting from 2020, if not mistaken, and late 2020, we actually came up with the ideas like you actually came with the idea, Mike, for the NFTs, and
Yeah.
from
Oh, yeah.
yeah, from that's where our journey actually began, right?
Right. So yeah, basically we met back in 2017. We were creating this company, ICO Picker, as what you mentioned.
Yeah,
And the ICO Picker is basically we from that year we started creating smart contracts, to
yeah,
actually create factory contracts to automate pool for ICOs to actually be able to crowdfund, and
yeah,
we send that to, so we're really exposed into like really blockchain stuff and smart contracts. And then from there, just late 2020, that's the time we had this. I actually I would that was a time when NFT was so hot, like people are really talking about it in Clubhouse, and I was actually listening to them like, okay, these guys are really into NFTs. And then like
yeah,
they're looking for a platform here locally in my country, like they can do that. So I actually thought like, hey, okay, probably I need to create an NFT marketplace. But
yeah,
then, there's a lot of NFT marketplaces that are coming out. Rarible, OpenSea is became very successful, right? I think, and very big initial during the 2020. So, and then there are new NFT marketplaces that are coming out, and tell Falco like, man, we can't do this. I mean, there's a lot of competition. I think we need to step it up a little bit. So that's when the
yeah,
circuit idea came out. And what we want to comment, because there are a lot of people that are really trying to create NFT marketplaces as well, so that they can showcase their NFTs.
yeah,
They can kind of like customize it in a way that how they want to present their NFTs, right? Because basically everyone has ideas, everyone is trying to like create their own. So we step it up. Probably why not enable these aviators, these owners to deploy something automatically,
yeah.
magically, probably something like that. So we came out with Circus, which is a solution to deploy NFT marketplace. So that was the initial idea that we had, just to.
And 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 the idea was also like when we were seeing so many platforms, we were thinking like the way the fees are being distributed are not fair. You still see that actually the ambassadors, the ones that are promoting the NFTs, weren't actually
Yeah.
earning, yeah, full to its full maximum capacity. And that made us think like, okay, we should create a platform where we make things fair.
Yeah. By the way, let's probably introduce ourselves first. Yeah, we forgot that part. My name is Mikey Molina. I'm actually the Chief Technology Officer. Basically, I'm the one who's building the product in terms of like creating smart contracts, all those, setting up the entire infrastructure of the platform that we're building. So yeah, I've been in the development industry for almost like more than like right now 17 years probably.
Okay.
I've been part of some outsourced companies that is working on top 500 Fortune companies. So I've been in both corporate and freelance, and I've handled really good projects in the past. So my last endeavor, I actually built a same day delivery company in the Philippines, which we were able to like had 100,000 customers with like 20,000 courier drivers. And I just paused that because this is the Circus one gives us a better kind of like opportunity to actually create something more tangible for the entire world, not just locally here in the Philippines. So
Okay.
that's my part.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you could introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. My name is Falco. I'm the co-founder and chief executive officer of Circus. My background is just like Mikey said, we already have a big background. He's 17 years in tech. I'm more than 20 years in the marketing experience. So we look young, yes, but we are actually not that young anymore. And yeah, my background lies in my previous experience since the year of 2016-17. I was part of a decentralized hotel booking engine called Locktrip. And from that point, actually, I started to understand more and more about the blockchain space. Before I was working in marketing and strategy for a long time, as I've mentioned. And now it's getting more interesting into Web3, what we are doing right now, and building this circus. I mean, you can see it in our backgrounds, deploy your Web3 app in minutes. I mean, this is what we breathe. This is what we live for, and what we would like to achieve. But we will tell a lot more about it, of course, this podcast.
Got it. And I think age is just a number. You should not stress about that. What I really was curious is about the name Circus. So how did that came into, and what does Circus really do?
Oh, I actually initially it was I created the name. It was initially it was Captor, so that was the name of the NFT marketplace.
By the way, I love your logo. The logo is very good. It's very catchy.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is the version 2 of a logo. This is the version 2. It's actually the previous version is we had a version 1 of that.
And this one is infinity, right? So infinity ideas and possibilities we are seeing.
Exactly. Infinite rewards as much as possible.
Yeah. In broadest part.
So yeah, Circus really comes. We were actually when we thought of creating something that would be able to, do a lot of stuff for the crypto space. We really, I was actually just brainstorming with Falco, like, what will be the best name? And I told him, like, probably Circus,
Yeah.
Well, let's change the C with an X, because when you go to Circus, there are a lot of things that you can do. Like there are a lot of shows, and different kind of probably acrobats or even rides you can see. So
the whole show. There's a whole show.
And that's always the kind of like the motive of our company, to provide an end-to-end solution.
Got it. So maybe I'll take a step back here. I also see on your poster, deploy your Web3 dApp in minutes. For our viewers who still live in the world of Android and iOS and normal mobile phone application or apps, what is a dApp?
If you talk about dApps, mostly application that that connects to the blockchain network. So any blockchain network that is out there, if your application utilizes blockchain data or storing data on the blockchain, then you can consider your app as a dApp.
Okay. Yeah. And again, that I would say it's a very technical definition. How it is in a very simple language different from a normal app? Like let's take an example of Instagram. Instagram is a normal application that is on Android and iOS. Now let's imagine if Instagram was a dApp, what would have been different in that?
Well, the only difference is that if it is storing or using a blockchain as a way to basically move data or move money, so
Okay,
that yeah, that's it could be considered as a dApp. But
got
unless that is not if they any the Web2 application doesn't use any of those, then they can consider it as a dApp. I don't know.
got it.
Yeah.
Got it clear. And today, what do you see? What is the need for a developer to build a dApp? I mean, what is one or two key requirements for which they are inclining towards building a dApp versus doing what they have been doing for the last 10 years?
Well, if they actually want to build a dApp, at least they have they are familiar with setting up their own blockchain wallet and basically a little bit of understanding about blockchain and how it works. So that, if they have a wallet, they will be able to basically connect with any dApp that is out there. Yeah, and if they were able to connect with their wallet, they need to have understanding of the blockchain, so that probably because usually right now most of the blockchain are utilizing gas fees. Like
Yeah, yeah.
that's what we notice with Ethereum network or even Bitcoin or even all of them are actually you have to pay fees in order for you to actually um, move tokens, right? So yeah,
I think I
they
have
And
burned. No, I think I have burned my hand on that in the early days of NFT, and I was not very educated on the world of blockchain, and I minted some NFT, and later I know okay there is a gas fee to that, and I want some money, so I know that pain. But yeah, I think it's an interesting perspective. Yeah,
I
you are
think
saying something, Falco.
I think I want to add something to your question, because the good thing in what we are actually building with Circus is that you actually don't need to be a developer. I
Yeah,
mean, that's the goal of actually also attracting the Web 2.5 audience into Web3. So having the need of specific um, um, programming language or developers background is not necessary, and this is exactly the reason why we are existing, to make this process flawlessly for a Web2 audience,
got it,
for a Web2 audience. That's why we are calling it like a no-code solution as well that we are offering, and
got it.
that's, I think, something pretty unique in the setup we have to onboard users from Web2 without the knowledge, and have the benefit in participating and starting and launching in Web3.
Got it, got it. And your audience is it only limited to developer or anyone who wants to build an app, or are you also
Anyone.
helping enterprises and business to get into this?
It could be
yeah
literally anyone.
yeah actually it could be literally it could be everyone because we built two solution, and that is the no code part and the
Yeah,
low code part, which we created SDK software development kits for developers. Because if we're looking at the space right now, there are lots of SDKs that are out there or development kits that are out there that sometimes developers are confused on which one to utilize. Like for example, in Ethereum, right there, that you have like two SDKs, like the Ether.js and the Web3.js. Like developers are going to be, which of these should I use? And usually it takes time. There is some kind of a learning curve before they even able to install, configure it, and use it on the applications that they're working on. So we actually try to simplify that. That's why we created our own SDK, software development kit, that to simplify things for developers so that they can actually utilize it, be able to connect with any wallet providers that is offered by probably their browser, and also connect on the blockchain network with some uh with some configuration that is already set up with the SDK that we have built.
Got it, got it. That is very clear. I think you are simplifying the journey, or rather, I would put it as you are reducing the barrier to entry into
Exactly.
Web3 for people who are
exactly.
new to the field. But talking about barriers, what do you think are today the major barriers for any individual to explore Web3?
I think our most still it's still on the part of education, as
Yeah,
well
I
as
think
like
so.
moving, basically buying cryptos and putting that on their own wallet. But once people already understands how to move funds or transfer funds, tokens from one wallet to another, or
Mhm.
or utilize their like probably a credit card to buy for cryptos, then that's they already have like a hook onto the space as a whole. So yeah, but you know what, the good thing about what's happening right now, there are lots of like regulations that are now citing towards crypto. Like it's really moving, like as what we heard about, governments starting to create some CBDCs, right, central bank digital coins, and they're actually doing like a pilot thing. Like here in the Philippines, there are most of the payment providers that we have here are already integrating crypto in the wallet. Like literally, you can buy crypto with the with the digital cash. So it's like, I think in a matter of years from now, which you know, basing it from what Gary Vaynerchuk mentioned before, like
2025.
2025 would be the the mainstream of really Web3, because I think from their countries and payment providers already have this opportunity. You already have the opportunity to buy crypto, and that's one big barrier right now. Like
Got it.
to get them to buy crypto so that they would have a wallet and they would have tokens on their wallet and be able to hold it.
And there is a lot of noise in the space, of course, because of everything that's happening. And because of all the noise, it's very difficult to understand from someone who's outside and trying to enter the space. Here, they are getting all kind of negative news about cryptocurrency. There are a lot of things happening with NFTs, flipping the JPEGs, as we all know. And yeah, it's marked like, oof, that's dangerous. Don't get into that. And while the underlying technology as the NFTs as digital
Yeah.
assets is very interesting. I mean, like, yeah, that's I think very interesting for
Yeah, exactly. That's why education is very important, because if if we would we observed the last 4 years, a lot of people got scammed because they don't know how to transact with real blockchain, with the real crypto.
Yeah.
Usually they just handed over the money to another person, and that's a problem. That person went away, so they lose their money, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
now crypto is money in some way. That's how people interpret it.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think there's a lot of noise around
Yeah.
this, and I think finding the right education is a starting point for many people. And yeah, for viewers who are watching this podcast, I think this is a place to get the right education or
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
great.
so moving on that, we talk about user, but talking about businesses, talking about brands, what are the barriers they are facing while entering Web3? We see a lot of brands entering Metaverse, creating AR/VR content,
Yeah.
launching NFT. Starbucks launched its own loyalty program based on NFT. A couple of brands are trying to build experience inside Roblox. Some are building dApps. So, what do you think? What are the key barriers for brands or companies to enter the Web3?
Probably
I,
Falco, you can answer that.
yeah, what I personally think like is many brands are trying it. They're trying to figure it out because it's something new. They want to follow the trends. Of course, logically wise, you're going to explore it and see what's in it for me, what's in it for my brand. And the thing is, how it often works with technology is like if some big brand is utilizing it, then they are following it. And yesterday I was reading the news about Meta, Instagram, Facebook. They are actually having the plan to not proceed with NFTs,
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
monetize
It shocked
the
a lot of
creators
people.
actually. And I was like, that's not very well, but that's not good news. But because
I think they are going to build AI and they are going to rebrand Meta as Mark GPT or something now.
yeah, they're follow. Oh, yeah, they're following the technology hype, of course. And yeah,
Yeah.
could be, but that in general is, I think that's what brands are doing. they're trying to explore and finding out and checking with other brands as well. Like, hey, if they are doing it, we are going to do it as well, and they are exploring it. But if you're talking about real barriers in that case, in that sense, I don't think there are. Of course, there are barriers, and they are trying to figure it out. But in my opinion, it's a matter of time, because every emerging market or everything that's very new and disruptive, it simply takes time to adopt it and to get used to it. So I think time is as well not directly a barrier, but it's yeah.
But we actually, but let me add to that. We actually outlined that with the problems, that companies could actually face when they're actually transitioning from Web2 to Web3, which is basically development cost. One factor, because it's right now there's a really scarce number of Web3 developers. Probably some of the Web3 developers are already building something, or trying to work on things,
or getting hired. Right,
get hired by another company that is trying to do something on a Web3. And then we have this another one, which is Web3 app complexity. What kind of features and functionality are they, are they actually trying to solve or trying to create with technology, right? And the last one, which is actually in the marketing side, which I mentioned before.
Yeah, because imagine. Imagine if you have to develop it, you have to invest a lot into create something tangible. Or maybe if you're a startup, if you want to create an MVP, it costs something to create it, especially once the Web3 developers rates are getting higher. And in order to achieve the goal, you have to basically validate and create a good product market fit. You have to invest into the development. It's difficult. This is the barrier that we are actually tackling, because now every single brand or entrepreneur can easily create their MVP literally within a few minutes, or if they want to customize it within a day or 2 days, and they can validate their product and make decisions how to proceed further and even evolve the product. So I think in that case, it's good that there are toolkits around, like we have, obviously, that can shorten the period of time to market it, if there is a moment to go to market, but at least to validate the product. And this is what we are offering, and this is one of our key barriers that we are seeing, that we are trying to tackle.
Yeah, got it. So our viewers, anyone who wants to get into Web3, build your dApp, Circus is a place where you can go and build your dApp in minutes and validate your products and
exactly.
Yeah. So again, I think Mikey, talking about skill set, I know you are an expert in technology. So, and with Web3 we see there is a lot of gap that is coming in Web3 skill set demand and the skill set that people have. So what do you feel? What are the top 2 or 3 skill set that are going to be in huge demand in the next 2 or 3 years in this space?
Well, basically, I think it's more in the smart contract creation.
Okay.
So you need a smart contract developer and a smart contract auditor.
Okay.
So yeah, because right now, a lot of, if you would notice, some of the new blockchains that are out there are really enabling smart contracts. Like, for example, Aptos, that's a new chain, right? It's different. We are already familiar with the EVM type blockchains like Ethereum, or the one that will be coming out with Coinbase Base, and you got like Polygon, Phantom. So all of those are EVMs and utilizing Solidity as smart contracts. So now there are new blockchain that are not Solidity smart contract type blockchain, which, for example, Aptos, they are using this new smart contract language called Move, which is actually created by Facebook. So imagine there will be, as well as the other blockchains like Tezos utilizes Archetype. What was this other one? Near, they have their Near, and Solana utilizes Rust, WASM-based smart contracts programming languages. So there are different languages that smart contract developers need to learn in the future. So if developers or any skill set that do you want to start really go into Web3, then in the developer side, that's for me. Solidity, smart contract developers, smart contract auditors. For marketing side, I'm not sure. Probably Falco could actually give which which roles or which skill set would actually fit in for this.
Well, yeah. I understand what you're saying, but I think with skill set, I think the conventional marketing skill sets are still valid in some way. I mean, of course, we see a lot of new innovations like ChatGPT, for example. It literally replaces a lot of jobs, actually. Like, you can simply ask the ChatGPT to create an SEO optimized article, for example, and asking ChatGPT to measure to implement the latest trends in SEO and then create it. I mean, that's basically used to be the job of a content writer and an SEO specialist, and the same for PR as well. If you have like if you need a press release article, you can simply do it on ChatGPT. So I think, yeah, of course, the skill sets are still valuable, but you can do a lot with ChatGPT, obviously. And that's,
hopefully it's not going to be applied yet for the developers, because when developers are trying ChatGPT, where they're getting weird answers. But soon,
it could be, yeah. It's continuously evolving. So
it's evolving. I think it will evolve. I think ChatGPT won't replace anyone, but it is a great productivity enabler, so that it can do the job and we can find time to do better job, right?
Exactly.
Right. If you ask me, in an ideal world, I want to do farming. I want to grow my own organic garden, fruits and vegetable.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe AI will do my job while I monitor that, check what it is doing while I do my own thing. Right. So I think that is where hopefully we'll move in a couple of years, maybe.
Yeah.
If AI doesn't go rogue and try to kill all of us. Yeah, so I think the other thing that I was curious about Circus was the earn part of your ecosystem. I want to understand how does that works.
I'm sorry?
The earn part of the Circus ecosystem, that I went through your what Circus does, and there is a part where you are saying you can developer can also earn from this entire stack. So I wanted to understand how does that works.
How developers can earn from Circus? Yeah, I mean, there are multiple revenue streams basically in Circus. We actually call it like the most rewarding platform. Whether you are developer, ambassador, designer, or obviously a seller of the assets you would like to sell. But I think from you were asking also about the developer's perspective, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's something Mikey can explain, because we have all kind of modules they can create and designers that can participate and sell their own items basically. But I think Mikey can answer this question perfect.
Yeah, for developers, actually, we're looking at different revenue opportunities for developer. For example, initially we'd start with the selling of templates or skins, so they can actually build skins. We will provide them like boilerplate. They can kind of like enhance it, improve it, and then sell it to the platform. Think about like when Magento started or WordPress started, right? There are a lot of developers starting to build themes, and if you check on the like Theme Forest, or what was this big template for sellers?
Yeah, Theme Forest.
Yeah, Theme Forest, right? So like themes on for the CMS. So that's exactly what we did as well with Circus. So we allow developers to basically create themes, sell those themes as NFTs. So it's like you're adding scarcity to the theme as well, which makes it a little more rare type of skin. There's only like for example 2,000 of that skin will only be minted and be utilized by the user. There will only be 2,000 people or companies that could use that kind of theme. So And then aside from the themes, we also have this, we call it modules, where developers can build blocks, probably blocks that integrates with any third-party tools, and then sell that through a rental subscription as an NFT as well. So they receive payment. Basically, developers will be receiving payment in their wallet instantly. So that's a beauty of what we're building. We noticed like a lot of companies are trying to say they are Web3, they're still in Web2, and they're accepting payments, and then they're not really moving the payments to those who created those content. Like we don't want to follow that kind of thing that they're doing. Really, if you're talking about Web3, you want to make sure that everything is Web3. You move the funds, the payments directly to the wallet of whoever creates it. That's why that's exactly what we did. We removed the bar. We removed the part where we need to hold anyone's money, because it doesn't make sense that you're in Web3 and you're actually holding other people's money. Why not just let the money flow to whoever develops it, developer, whoever go to it, right? Aside from that, there's I was also looking at this opportunity where developers could actually create a smart contracts and sell smart contracts, because we have this smart contract publishing area in our platform where developers can publish their smart contracts, and then once the smart contract is published, that's going to be kind of like shared to anyone who would visit our platform, and from there they can actually kind of like deploy the contract if they want to, customize it based on the settings that is on that contract. And probably in the future there will be a smart contract developer that would deploy smart contracts, kind of like sell it at some probably very affordable price, and others who needs that kind of smart contracts will be able to deploy that contract by just paying that contract, right? So there's a lot of opportunities we're looking at.
Got it. No, I think I appreciate the transparency and how it is going to again empower back the developer. I know we are out of time, but I will have one last short question. Because again, you are experts in dApps. What are the top 3 dApps that you have seen in the market based on utility or your personal favorite, and why do you see people using them?
Top 3 dApps?
Yeah.
I think one is Decentraland. It's really good. They created it, I think the same kind of mindset when it comes to like creating a platform that is open. So
Okay.
open platform where everyone could create their own game inside your game. It's like it's really great. What are the others? I think that's one thing that I see.
That's a big one, yeah. I
Yeah,
think that's
it really makes sense. Decentraland. I don't have any other companies. I don't have any other companies in mind that is actually doing great at the moment. I don't want to say this, but like for example, OpenSea, I don't really consider like it's a Web3 company, because it's making the payments on the API and kind of like hodling the money, right? So it's not direct. But yeah, I don't have any other, but that's the only one I have. Like Decentraland is really good.
Okay. Great.
What do you have, Falco?
No, I'm thinking, but I think we already discussed this. Decentraland is something we are looking at, and
there's also another one. Forgot Chainlink. There we go. Sorry, I missed Chainlink. Yeah.
And what does it do?
Oh, Chainlink. They provide oracles for smart contracts. So if you want real world data, that is, you'll be able to query data from an API. So basically, they query the data from the API, and when the data is available, and any smart contract connected to their oracle will be able to get that data. So that's something that smart contract developers can use also in terms of like building application with, for example, like prediction markets, where you want to predict an outcome of a certain event, and from there, when people when the prediction is successful, then there will be like probably like rewards being sent to whoever predicted it. So those kind of things that yeah, they can explore it, check on it. There, I think Chainlink is that's
Yeah.
a good thing that what they're building, because that just brings Web2 data to Web3.
Got it. Got it. No, definitely I'll explore it. I did not know this particular app, but I'll explore it. But once again, I think thank you. Thank you for your time. It was great talking to you and learning about
Thanks for
Circus
having
and
us.
learning about the app. Oh, it was amazing. I hope our viewers learn what is the app and also how they can start their journey with Circus. So once
Yeah.
again, thank you so much for your time. It was great having you.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much.
having us here.
Thank you for having us as well. Yeah.